Okay. Okay, here we go. Man, it takes a lot to set up DCS for this. Okay, I'm gonna do some flying today. I'm in my P51 that comes default with the game, and I've been sitting here for a minute trying to get everything set up for the stream. DCS sometimes doesn't allow Alt-Tab, and so of course I had to go in and reset all the settings for uh, what is it, the thumbnail and stuff. So I'm using my rudder pedals and everything, and got my flight stick. And it's been a while, but I'd like to do some aviation today, so I'm going to release the parking brake here. We've already got the engine all started up, probably burned through quite a bit of fuel already. Um, hold down those brakes. Parking brake should be released. And it's been a while, so bear with me, guys. All right, we're taxiing. Okay. Nice. I don't remember what it is to close the cockpit though. Okay, my rudder pedals are not working. I don't know why it does this. Yeah. Bang. What a way to start off the stream. I don't know why my rudder pedals don't work sometimes. I have to usually restart the game and stuff. It's really weird how it does that. Let me see if they're even hooked up. Yeah, they're hooked up. It's just one of those things. Okay, let's go back and I'll just do the training again. I think what I may do, let me see. Let's go to quit. Wow. Okay. We'll fly again, and I was just doing the training because it's been a long time. I've only flown this P-51, I think, twice, so usually I fly my helicopter. So we'll walk through the startup.
Welcome to the startup lesson. Press the spacebar key to begin.
It's pretty easy.
The engine start sequence is not very complicated. We will move around the cockpit clockwise, starting on the left side to configure the aircraft for engine start. Let's begin with the flaps control handle, positioned to the rear bottom left side of the cockpit. For a normal takeoff, flaps are not usually lowered. However, 15 to 20 degrees of flaps can be used when a minimum run takeoff is required. Set the flaps control handle all the way up to the up position. To do this, you can either click and drag the handle with the mouse, or press left shift plus F command repeatedly until it is all the way up. Note, the flaps won't actually come up until the engine is running and there is sufficient pressure in the hydraulic system to raise them.
It won't detect until he's done talking.
Now set the carburetor induction system for normal operation by moving the cold air control handle all the way forward to the ram air position and the hot air control handle all the way forward to the normal position. Next, set the coolant and oil radiator air control switches to the
I don't know why it tells you to do this if it's already done. So is this.
Radiator flap doors. To do
It's
so,
already done.
left click on the auto switch positions. Don't forget to
Sit here
close
and
the
mess
switch
around with
covers
these.
after. Adjust the trim tabs to prepare for takeoff. Set rudder trim to 5 degrees right. Elevator trim can be left neutral. Aileron trim remains neutral.
The 5 degrees right is pretty important.
On the throttle quadrant, ensure the propeller RPM lever marked P is set all the way forward to increase, and the fuel mixture lever marked M is set to idle cutoff. Set the
All
throttle
the way
handle
forward.
about 1 inch forward from the full back position to slightly open the throttle.
This is going to be a little tricky. Got to detect my throttle.
If you don't have a throttle controller, the plus and minus keys on the keyboard numpad can be used to move the throttle handle.
Yes.
Moving to the engine control panel on the front dash, turn on the fuel booster pump by setting the fuel booster switch to the up position by clicking over the switch. Select the left and right magnetos to provide power to the engine ignition system by setting the ignition switch to both. On the fuel control panel, ensure that the left wing tank is selected for fuel consumption by checking that the fuel selector valve is set to the main tank electric position. Open the fuel shutoff valve by clicking on the set engine on push. Let's set the parking brake to make sure we remain stationary when the engine begins to pull. You may want to open the controls indicator by pressing right before pressing enter to monitor the positions of the flight controls, including the brakes. Setting the parking
I don't know why they make this thing take off during the training. You can't hear the damn thing the guy's trying to say. This part is kind of tricky. It won't actually do it until he shuts up. So you gotta press the rudder pedals all the way forward. And see, this is another thing that I don't understand. My toe brakes work on the rudder pedals.
Next, while continuing to hold the parking brake handle, fully press the brake pedals by holding down the W key.
I'm doing it.
Continuing to hold the parking brake handle,
It's
release the rear
detecting
brakes by
my rudder
releasing the
pedals. It's just not detecting my rudder input for some reason. Which is why I went ahead and took off, because I thought everything was peachy. I was wrong. It's set, he's just not. Do I have to do it again? Yeah, he's just being picky.
Now release the parking brake handle to set the parking brake. If done correctly, the parking brake handle should remain in the pulled out position. We'll now move on to the electrical control panel on the right side of the cockpit. Set the battery switch to the up position to provide electrical power. Also, set the generator switch to the up position to prepare the generator to take over once the engine is running at 1500 to 1711 RPM.
What?
Click and hold the primer switch on the engine control panel for about 1 second.
This can be tricky. Well, not this, but...
Cold temperatures, up to 4 seconds of prime may be necessary.
Yeah, I did that.
We are now ready to attempt an engine start. To do so,
This part can be tricky. I've had some fail starts a couple of times.
Begin turning the engine. As the engine begins to catch, move the fuel mixture control lever on the throttle quadrant to the run position by right-clicking on it once.
Right.
If you aren't able to start the engine successfully, return the fuel mixture lever to idle cutoff by left-clicking and repeat the process starting with priming the engine. Note, the engine starter can be easily overheated. The starter should not be used for more than 4 20-second attempts to start, with 15-second intervals, followed by a 5-minute cooling off period.
4 20-second intervals. So I wonder if you have to hold this for 20 seconds. We're going to see it. I'm holding it. I'm just going to do it now. I don't hold it for the full 20 seconds.
Now we need to make sure the engine is running smoothly without any indication of a problem. Use the RPM gauge, adjust the throttle.
I sat here and watched these gauges for like 5 minutes before I realized you just have to hit spacebar. But of course you gotta wait for the oil to warm up. Hot! The oil's gonna warm up. As soon as that warms up, I'm gonna hit spacebar because this never moves. There's one of my Hueys over there. I say my Huey because I own that. Cool having this track IR in this thing. Okay, we should be almost 40. We're a little high on the RPM, so I'm gonna ease her back here, especially when I'm fixing a taxi. That ought to be good right there. I'll just wait for the oil to finish warming up. Should be good.
Check the hydraulic pressure gauge to make sure it is within normal pressure of 1100 psi. Check the oxygen pressure gauge to make sure it is within normal pressure of 400
It's close. It's over 800. Unless it's 400. We should be good to go.
Continue to idle the engine at 1,000 to 1,200 RPM until ready to taxi or perform a flight check.
1,000 to 1,200 RPM.
To do so, fully depress and release the wheel brake to W. This concludes the engine start message. Well done.
So typically, when you're going to take off, you always do a little surfaces check to make sure everything's working. Now see, that rudder moving is not my feet. That's actually the joystick that I'm so used to wiggling the other joystick for the rudder. This actually has the rudder lock on this joystick, so that movement is not good. So our rudders are still not moving on the pedals. I do have probably rudder control on the... Oh no, not even on the throttle quadrant. Huh. So I know sometimes you have to go in and go to settings. No. What am I doing? You have to go in and go to... I've been having problems with DCS because when you hit Alt-Z to pull up for a screenshot, to pull up shadow play, Alt-Z in this game, so it automatically doesn't detect the NVIDIA thing for some reason, shadow play. Plus, yeah, I couldn't Alt-Tab. So let's go to Adjust Controls, and I think it's Rudder Controls, Access Commands. And where... There's Rudder. Right. Let's click it, and then... I don't know if you have to go to... Joy slider. It automatically set whenever I did that. Okay. So that should be good. Now we should be able to go okay. Check. And our rudder's good. I don't know that we need to invert that or not. We'll have to check it. Okay. Let's release the parking brake and get rolling. Let me see how to get on the runway from here. But for starters, I was going to go all the way down there. I didn't need to. Just go right over here. It's been a while since I played this game. I haven't played very much DCS, to be truthful. I've done some flying with my friend a couple times. Flew the C-130 a little bit. Last time I tried to show you guys the C-130, I forgot how to do that. So I'm so used to having rudder in the joystick that I'm instinctually trying to twist the joystick still after all this time. Let's see. You want to go up on the rudder for the direction you want to turn. Right now, you don't want to go rolling down that way. I'm just going to drop it to 0 and give some hard rudder here. Okay, that didn't work. Oh well. I should have held the wheel brakes. I think we'll be alright just to roll onto the field here. They did that in World War II. It's been a while, man. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done much flying in DCS, to be truthful. I've really only flown the helicopter some. Not one to turn. Oh, I know why. Differential braking. That's why. That's where I screwed up. I forgot this thing uses differential braking. It's like the old World War II bombers. I wonder why I couldn't turn. I was trying to turn with just my rudder alone. There we go. Alright. It's not going to be the greatest takeoff, but we're going to see. Let's get going. Normally I'd prefer that joystick to probably be sitting on my lap, but I have it on my desk. Slowly advance here. A little bit of torque from the engine there. Oh. We're good. Getting a little bit of torque. Even with that, over here on the setting, what's cool about this is it's very quick to adjust to these rudder inputs and the aileron inputs and elevator trim. It's pretty quick to adjust to it. You can basically fly this thing with trim. So we're only about half throttle. Let's advance. Now we're max. Here's where we took off from. Pull up our undercarriage. Verify those are up. Can't remember where the gear lever is on here. I think it's like somewhere over here, or it's down here somewhere in an awkward spot. I just can't remember exactly where it is. I should have done the cockpit familiarization, but I figured, you know, I'm pretty familiar with the cockpit. I just haven't flown in a while. Usually it'll tell you what this is. I think that is the gear handle. Oil temps are starting to go up quite a bit here. Let's reduce some of that throttle. Let's take it back. That throttle's super sensitive on the joystick. Even though it's in the same position as it should be, when I move my throttle, there's a dead zone a little bit there. Yeah, our oil temps are going. Reduce some of that speed. You can hear it whistling. I flew Jane's World War II fighters back when I was a teenager for years. I can do amazing things in this plane, but a lot more realistic flight models in DCS, of course. That's me accidentally messing with the rudder on the joystick itself. I'm just kind of babying it right now. The last time I flew this thing, I went inverted with it just for a little bit and my engine quit. Anyway, let's go to exterior view and see if those gear are still down. They're not down. Cockpit's still open though. Let's close that. That's probably some of that drag. Where is that at? It's like right over here, I think. Oh, you just click it and it goes around by itself, maybe? I think we're going either too fast because you gotta fight gravity with this canopy sometimes. Can we just close this? There we go, now I'm cranking. I think it's actually full crank, it's just doesn't want to close. What is that? There we go, come on. Come on. It's being stubborn, I think it's fighting the air. Probably should have just closed it before we took off. It's alright, I'm not doing anything crazy, I'm just flying around. Try to reduce this throttle back. I don't know what the stall speed is on this. I forgot. It's been so many years. I think the landing speed on this is like 170 or 1. Or that might be F-16. And I'm gonna. Come on, crank that handle. Crank it. Crank it. Come on. There she is. Why is it doing that? It's like the handle's kind of hung up. Yeah, it's doing some weird stuff. I've nearly got it. It's just... Come on. Close that canopy. Alright, we're starting to stall. I'm going to speed up a little bit. Yeah, it's the air pressure sucking it back. I'm trying, man. It just doesn't want to close. Don't forget to fly the plane. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that canopy. It'll be alright. We're trying to stall here. We're getting a wing stall. I'm gonna speed up. I think I'm gonna take it over there and land, close the cockpit, and take her back up. I'm gonna give us a good run here for the runway so we can bleed the speed back, slow down some. Yeah, it's a little bit of a dead zone. And another thing, it doesn't tell you to uncage this, and I don't know why it didn't, but is it gonna uncage? There it is. It's there she oh. It's inverted for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, I probably need to do a refamiliarization. Pull the nose up, bleed some of the speed off, and try to take a land. Tell you, the DCS model is awful sensitive compared to how I remember. But I guess that's probably the difference in James World War II fighters and DCS. I think that'll take us home. If the engine don't quit like it did last time. I was sitting there idle for a while, man. It'll be alright. Yeah, we're starting to lose a little bit too much speed here. I'm just gonna ride her in to the runway. Just gear down. Another thing is, I think our flaps. Oh no. Got a little bit of drag from the gear. Get a little bit more speed. think we're gonna stall. I better speed up the speed. Hopefully our carriage are down. Let's check. Yeah, they're down. We're good. Yeah, I think I'll land and maybe do some, maybe do the familiarization again, because look at my horizon there. It's all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Yeah, we're bringing range. All right. Down the way. A little high. Use the speed here. Yeah, we're way too high. I could probably perform a go around, but I'm gonna set her down. Ooh, easy, 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 easy. Oh, yeah, that didn't go well. That's what happens when you haven't flown in a long time. Dead beats. Okay, let's quit and go to cockpit familiarization. Thought I had that for a second, but we were going just a little bit too fast on touchdown, and I had a little bit of a dip there for a second. I tried to get it back under control, and it was going so fast that it nosed over on me, and I was throttle all the way back, so it was just extra speed that I had from trying to land. Just a little bit too hot. Okay, let's go to close cockpit familiarization. They have a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff on this. I just didn't feel like watching an hour worth of video before I actually got in and flown. I just wanted to get in and fly. So, let's see.
Welcome to the cockpit overview lesson. Today, we will take a detailed look at the Mustang cockpit. You can use mouse look mode to move your view around the cockpit. To turn mouse look mode on and off, press left Alt plus C. Throughout this lesson, pressing the spacebar key will initiate the next consecutive step once instructions for the current one are complete. Press the spacebar key when you are ready to begin.
I'm ready to begin.
The cockpit is configured in a standard layout, with the instrument panel positioned on the front dash, a center-mounted control stick, a throttle quadrant on the left side, and various aircraft system controls on the left and right panels. With the exception of the flaps control handle, which is located in the bottom left corner of the cockpit, most of the indicators and controls are well organized and easy to read and reach.
Oh, spacebar.
Moving on to the instrument panel, the upper left corner houses the remote indicating compass. The compass unit is installed inside the left wing and transmits magnetic readings electrically to the cockpit indicator. Using a remote compass avoids the magnetic effects caused by armor plating around the cockpit, experienced by a standard magnetic compass. The remote indicating compass includes a heading needle, which shows the current heading, and a desired heading needle, which can be turned using the indicator knob to set a desired course reference on the indicator.
Okay.
To turn the knob, you can simply roll the mouse wheel over it.
Well, I'm rolling the mouse wheel. Not doing anything. Oh, right here. I think you have to actually click it. No? Oh, there you go. You have to move the mouse up and down while holding left click. So, what does it want me to do? Nothing. I think we just hit space bar.
To the right of the remote indicating compass is a standard clock. The winding knob can be used to set the time. Doing so requires pulling the knob out with the left mouse button, then rolling the mouse wheel over the knob to rotate it.
Just a clock. Yeah, I don't need to do all that. Let's just go on to the next.
The suction gauge indicates the amount of pressure in inches of mercury being generated by the engine vacuum pump. Vacuum pressure is used by a number of vital instruments, including the flight indicator, bank and turn indicator, and the directional gyro. A suction reading above or below normal means the readings of these indicators are unreliable. Next is the manifold pressure indicator. This is one of the primary instruments used in flight, and together with the tachometer or engine RPM indicator is your main reference of engine power. The manifold pressure indicator shows gas pressure inside the engine induction system prior to entering the cylinders. Like the suction gauge, the indication is in inches of mercury. Manifold pressure is set using the throttle handle, while engine RPM is set using the propeller control lever, also on the throttle quadrant. On the left side of the middle row of the instrument panel is the airspeed indicator, which shows an indicated airspeed in miles per hour, mph. The red line on the indicator marks the maximum permissible airspeed of 505 miles per hour. It's important to remember that maximum permissible indicated airspeed is reduced as altitude increases. For example, it is 400 mph at 20,000 feet and 300 mph at 30,000 feet. In the left center of the instrument panel is the directional gyro, which shows current heading. The instrument can be caged and the heading adjusted manually by pushing in and rotating the indicator knob. In the center right of the instrument panel is the flight indicator, which shows the aircraft's roll and pitch attitude relative to the horizon. The indicator is limited to 60 degrees in pitch and 100 degrees in roll.
So why
the
was mine
can be
inverted?
caged or uncaged using the caging knob in the lower right corner of the indicator. The horizon level can be adjusted vertically using the pitch adjust knob.
The horizon level can be used. So how do you change it back from... Wait. Trying to roll this knob here. It's not doing it. I'll just leave it alone. You can adjust this somehow. There we are. There's the pitch of it. Why is it not recaging now? Oh well, doesn't matter. Let's go on.
To the right of the flight indicator are two temperature gauges, the coolant temperature gauge above and the carburetor air temperature below. It's important to monitor these instruments in flight, as temperatures rising above normal may lead to serious engine problems, such as detonation and pre-ignition. On the right side of the middle row of the instrument panel is the tachometer. This instrument indicates engine speed in revolutions per minute, RPM. The pilot controls engine speed using the propeller control lever on the throttle quadrant. A propeller governor system automatically adjusts propeller pitch angles to maintain the RPM set by the pilot. Typical RPM settings in flight will be between 1,800 and 3,000 RPM. Moving to the bottom row of the instrument panel, the left corner houses the altimeter. The altimeter shows barometric or pressure altitude using a 3-needle system. The shortest needle shows altitude in tens of thousands of feet, the middle needle in thousands of feet, and the longest needle in hundreds of feet. The indicator knob is used to adjust the sea level reference pressure in inches of mercury to ensure an accurate altitude reading over a desired location where the sea level air pressure is known.
Man, I'll tell you, if you don't fly for a while, you forget a lot of shit. I used to fly Flight Simulator 2004 for years, and I never did move to X, but we continued to fly 2004 for, God, I don't even know how long, a long time. But
next is the bank and turn indicator, primarily used to maintain coordinated flight and minimize side slip.
I used to know all this stuff.
The instrument indicates turn rate,
and
the slip ball indicates side slip or side skid. In flight, the pilot maintains the ball center by using stick and rudder controls or aileron and rudder trim. Flight trim is very sensitive to changes in engine power and airspeed, so constant attention must be paid to the bank and turn indicator in order to fly as efficiently as possible.
Yeah.
To the right is the rate of climb indicator, which shows the climb rate in thousands of feet per minute.
Right.
Further to the right is the accelerometer, or G-meter. This indicator shows the G-load factor experienced by the aircraft, as well as 2 additional needles that show the maximum and minimum G-loads attained since the instrument was last reset. The instrument includes a reset button used to reset the needles to 0. Finally, on the very right is the engine gauge. This instrument includes 3 indicators: the oil temperature gauge, oil pressure gauge, and the fuel pressure gauge.
Oil temperature gauge, oil pressure, and fuel pressure. Okay.
Moving below the instrument panel, the engine control panel includes a number of important engine controls.
Well, let
These
me put my
include
face down there.
supercharger blower switch. Sets the supercharger to low, high, or automatic blower modes. Normally this should be set to auto. The jewel light indicator lights up when the supercharger kicks into high blower mode. Fuel booster switch turns the fuel booster pumps on and off. Oil dilute switch, used to dilute the oil with gasoline, which may be necessary when starting in cold temperatures. Starter switch, used to turn the engine prior to ignition during startup. Primer switch, used to feed fuel to the engine through the fuel primer system during startup. To the right are the 2 landing gear warning lights. These indicate safe or unsafe states of the landing gear. For example, the unsafe red light will be on if the gear doors are open, but the landing gear is unlocked. Adjacent to the landing gear warning light is the parking brake handle. Setting the parking brake requires the following steps. Pull out and hold the parking brake handle. Fully depress and release the brakes. Release the parking brake handle. Releasing the parking brake only requires a press of the brake pedals.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Next.
On the right side below the instrument panel are the oxygen indicators, the oxygen flow indicator, and the oxygen pressure gauge. The oxygen flow indicator features a blinker that opens and closes as the pilot inhales and exhales on-demand oxygen. The oxygen pressure gauge shows the amount of oxygen remaining in the O2 tanks in pounds per square inch, PSI. A normal reading is 400 PSI.
Right.
Just below the instrument panel is the front switch panel, which includes a variety of important controls. Ignition selector switch selects the left, right, or both magnetos to operate the engine ignition system. Cockpit light switch turns on and adjusts the cockpit floodlights. Horn silence button silences the AN/APS-13 rear warning radar alarm.
That's just me just screwing around.
Below the front switch panel is the fuel control panel. This includes the fuel shutoff valve, used to open and close the fuel flow, and the fuel selector valve, used to select the fuel tank used to feed the engine. Correct fuel tank selection is important in flight to maintain a balanced aircraft.
Yes. Okay.
To the right of the fuel control panel are the hydraulic pressure gauge and the landing gear fairing doors emergency release handle. The landing gear fairing doors emergency release handle can be used to release the hydraulic pressure and mechanical locks holding the gear doors closed. This will open the fairing doors and allow the landing gear to fall down under its own weight. Slight rolling of the aircraft from side to side can be used to ensure the gear locks in place prior to landing. Normal pressure for the hydraulic system is 800 to 1,100 psi.
Yes.
The surface control lock is used to lock the control stick in place when the aircraft is parked. Left-clicking over the pin locks the stick in a forward position, which leaves the tail wheel unlocked and allows the aircraft to be towed and turned easily. Right-clicking on the pin locks the stick in the neutral position, which leaves the tail wheel limited to 6 degrees of turn. Moving to the left side of the cockpit, the throttle quadrant dominates the forward section. The throttle quadrant includes the throttle handle, the propeller control lever, and the mixture control lever. In addition, 2 friction locks are mounted on the assembly and can be used to stop the movement of the throttle handle or the mixture and propeller control levers. The throttle handle features a microphone switch button used to activate transmission over the VHF radio. Moving back from the throttle quadrant, the radiator air control panel includes switches to operate the coolant and oil radiator flap doors. These are usually kept in automatic, but can be opened and closed manually when necessary. This panel also includes the landing light switch and the left-hand fluorescent light rheostat switch, which controls instrument backlighting on the left side of the cockpit. 3 trim wheels are used to set the aileron, rudder, and elevator trim. Take off with 5 to 6 degrees of right rudder trim to help compensate for engine torque. Trim settings in flight may vary depending on flight conditions.
Because I'm kind of leaning back when I'm trying to rest my back here, so track hours going out of the cam. Yes, we know about this.
The 2 handles toward the left rear of the cockpit control airflow to the engine induction system. The ram air control handle controls whether air is ingested through the main intake under the nose or filtered intakes on either side of the nose. Filtered air is used when icing of the intake develops. The hot air control handle opens a vent door in the engine compartment to allow warm air to enter the carburetor. This can be done below 12,000 feet when icing of the carburetor is a danger. Probably the most awkward control in the cockpit is the flaps control handle in the bottom left corner. The flaps can be set from 0 to 47 marked 50 degrees in 10-degree increments.
Can I look at that from back here? Not really.
The landing gear control handle is also on
there
the
it
left
is.
side. The handle
That
is
was the
pulled in
control
and moved
handle.
up or down to raise and lower the landing gear as desired. The gear should only be moved when it's locked in either the up or down position.
Yeah.
Now moving on to the right side of the cockpit, we have 2 canopy controls. The canopy is rolled open and closed by turning the canopy hand crank. The red handle is the emergency canopy release. When pulled, this will unlock the canopy and it will fly off into the slipstream.
Oh yeah.
The oxygen regulator is used to control oxygen flow to the pilot's mask.
B-17s have a ton of these.
With yellow stripes is used to set normal diluted oxygen or 100% oxygen. The red emergency valve is a separate backup oxygen line and can be used to bypass the regulator.
I don't know what's going on with that. Okay.
The recognition light's keying switch is used to flash the recognition lights installed on the underside of the right wing tip when they are set to key mode on the electrical panel. The lights turn on for as long as the keying switch is held down and off when it is released. The electrical control panel includes switches for battery and generator power, pitot tube, and external lighting. In addition, the right-hand fluorescent light rheostat switch controls the backlighting for instruments on the right side of the cockpit. The electrical control panel also includes an important indicator, the ammeter. This shows current output of the generator in amperes. Maximum permissible output is 100 amperes. The ammeter does not show battery current. Finally, the electrical control panel also includes a circuit breaker bump plate. This can be pressed in to reset all the circuit breakers in case one or more of them gets overloaded and pops out. Further back from the electrical control panel is the AN/APS 13 Rear Warning Radar, or RWR. This device sounds an alarm when an object is detected behind the aircraft to warn the pilot of a possible threat approaching from the rear. Next is the SCR 522 VHF radio, used for communication with flight members and air traffic controllers. The radio features 5 channels, the frequencies for which are preset and cannot be changed in flight. You should consult your mission briefing prior to starting a flight to ensure your radio is set up to contact ATC towers in your vicinity. The remaining radio systems, including the homing adapter, IFF transponder, and Detroller range receiver, are not functional in this aircraft. Let's now take a look at the fuel gauges. You may need to twist your head around the cockpit a little to see them. You can press left Alt plus C to enable mouse view mode, and then hold down the mouse wheel while moving the mouse to move your head around the cockpit. The gauges for the left and right main tanks are located on the floor side of the seat.
Alright, whatever. Okay, I get it. Ah, come on. Track hour is jacking up. What do you say something about a mouse? Alt C to enable mouse view mode. And then hold down the mouse wheel while moving the mouse. Move your head around the cockpit. Okay. Oh, you can see him now. Just have to really do some weird shit. You can kind of see it. It's not great, but all right, whatever. Next
Finally,
thing.
the area under the seat also houses cockpit environmental controls,
What is that?
including windshield defrosting and cockpit heating and cooling.
Okay. Something else I have to wiggle my head around to see. Okay, we're not gonna do that. So,
This concludes the cockpit overview lesson.
okay.
Next
Yeah.
time, we'll learn how to start her up.
Yeah. And I'll walk through we'll do the startup again, I guess. I pretty much know how to start the thing, but we'll do it. Yeah. Quit. Close. And we'll do the. I don't really want to do the engine start procedure, but I guess we'll do it. Fuck it. Alright, let's go.
Welcome to the startup lesson. Press the spacebar key to begin.
Begin.
The engine start sequence is not very complicated. We will move around the cockpit clockwise, starting on the left side to configure the aircraft for engine start. Let's begin with the flaps control handle, positioned to the rear bottom left side of the cockpit. For a normal takeoff, flaps are not usually lowered. However, 15 to 20 degrees of flaps can be used when a minimum run takeoff is required. Set the flaps control handle all the way up to the up position. To do this, you can either click and drag the handle with the mouse, or press left shift plus F command repeatedly until it is all the way up. Note, the flaps won't actually come up until the engine is running and there is sufficient pressure in the hydraulic system to raise them.
I was waiting because I have to hang my head
Now
the whole
set the
time while I'm
carburetor
looking in order
induction
to
system for normal operation by moving
do
the cold
this.
air control handle all the way forward to the ram air position and the hot air control handle all the way forward to the normal position.
I don't know why they tell you to do that when it's already set. Same for these switches here.
Next, set the coolant and oil radiator air control switches to the auto position for automatic operation of the coolant and oil radiator flat doors. To do so, left-click on the auto switch positions. Don't forget to close the switch covers after.
No.
Adjust the trim tabs to prepare for takeoff. Set rudder trim to 5 degrees right. Elevator trim to be left neutral. Aileron trim remains neutral. On the throttle quadrant, ensure the propeller RPM lever marked P is set all the way forward to increase, and the fuel mixture lever marked M is set to idle cutoff. Set the throttle handle about 1 inch forward from the fullback position to slightly open the throttle butterfly valve and allow air to flow to the engine. If you don't have a throttle controller, the plus and minus keys on the keyboard numpad can be used to move the throttle handle. Moving to the engine control panel on the front dash, turn on the fuel booster pump by setting the fuel booster switch to the up position by clicking over the switch.
Yee.
Select the left and right magnetos to provide power to the engine ignition system by setting the ignition switch to both. On the fuel control panel, ensure that the left wing tank is selected for fuel consumption by checking that the fuel selector valve is set to the main tank energy position. And the fuel shutoff valve by clicking on the silver button. Let's set the parking brake to make sure it remains stationary when the engine is full. You may want to open the controls indicator by pressing right control plus enter to monitor the positions of the flight controls.
I'm gonna wait till he shuts up before I do it.
Setting the parking brake takes a few steps. First, pull out and hold the parking brake handle by clicking and holding it. Next, while continuing to hold the parking brake handle, fully press the brake pedals by holding down the W key. Continuing to hold the parking brake handle, release the wheel brakes by releasing the W key. Now release the parking brake handle to set the parking brake. If done correctly, the parking brake handle should remain in the pulled-out position.
And it is.
We'll now move on to the electrical control panel on the right side of the cockpit. Set the battery switch to the up position to provide electrical power. Also, set the generator switch to the up position to prepare the generator to take over once the engine is running over 1500 to 1700 RPM.
Yes.
Click and hold the primer switch on the engine control panel for about 1 second to feed some fuel to the engine. When starting in cold temperatures, up to 4 seconds of prime may be necessary. We are now ready to attempt an engine start. To do so, first press and hold the starter switch to operate the starter and begin turning the engine. As the engine begins to catch, move the fuel mixture control lever on the throttle bottom to the run position by right-clicking on it once. If you aren't able to start the engine successfully, return the fuel mixture lever to idle cutoff by left-clicking on it to process starting the primary engine. Note, the engine starter is the overheat. The starter should not be used for more than 4 to 8 seconds after start, with 15 second interval, followed by a 5-minute on period. Good start. Now we need to make sure the engine is running smoothly without any indications of a problem. Use the RPM gauge to adjust the throttle to run the engine at about 1200 RPM. Monitor the engine gauge to check the oil pressure to 50 psi and the oil temperature to check at 40 degrees Celsius. Check the suction gauge to make sure it's showing a normal suction rate of 0.75 or 0.25 inches. Press the space bar to proceed. Check the hydraulic pressure gauge to make sure it's using normal pressure to 180 psi. Check the oxygen pressure gauge to make sure it's using normal pressure to 400 psi. Press the space bar to proceed. Continue to idle the engine at 1,000 to 1,200 RPM and deliver the taxiway before the flight check. Remember to release the parking brake before taxi. To do so, fully press and release the brake. This concludes the engine start testing. Well done.
Yay. Okay, let's release the parking brake. I'm gonna idle back a little bit here. I want to go taking off here. I'll idle it back to about 1200. Release that parking brake. Get moving. We're gonna go to idle. Use our left toe brake here. Let's get a little bit more speed than that. Now, a little bit more speed. There we go. Oh, we're going down, we're going down. Trying to hit the toe brake and it didn't quite detect it. Oop, oh shit, here we go. Actually eat shit. Got to get in the habit of, while also ruddering, hitting the toe brake. Didn't hit that toe brake. Just wanting to turn with the rudder, forgetting my toe brakes. Okay, we're pretty well good. Let's idle back. Stop. Gotta be easy on these toe brakes because you'll rock forward if you got too much speed. Okay, let's go ahead and go here. Me on the rudder just a little bit. There we go. We're fine. Get those undercarriage up. You're in transition with the red light. And they're up. Alright. It'll be easy on that rudder a little bit. Put it in too quick, it'll really rock the boat. And you know what else I did this time again? Getting close to the canopy. Let's idle back before we get too much speed. I say idle back, I just mean slow down to about 100 if we can. Try to roll this shit. A little bit of gravity to help there. I don't know how this thing... Come on, close. Close it. Close it. Close it. Close it. I think we're good. I think she closed. The thing's weird. You have to hold down the mouse and then hold way up here and just keep slowly moving until the thing will shut. So we're closed now. Try to put this flight stick in my lap if I can. No, I can't. Alright, let's... So my rudders, they're slightly offset underneath my desk to the right. So that's why you see me kind of sitting over this way. Trying to get this seat lined up here. Let's not stall. Let's get moving here. I'm gonna make this a low and fun flight. Get that speed up and haul some ass. It's responsive. It's definitely responsive, but the not rudder, but the throttle on this joystick is a little fickle. Kind of likes to slide, and that's not so great. You can hear the wind whistling over my wing. Oh, wires there. Only thing with the P51 is you can't go inverted with it very long. If you do, it'll quit on you. The river end here? I think it does. Using a little bit of rudder to help me turn here. When I went up in a Cessna with a friend of mine, he let me take the controls for a minute, and honestly, it was a little bit scary because if you never flown, you move those rudders, boy, it literally feels every little motion. It's super sensitive, and the ailerons are kind of sensitive as well. But I mean, that's flying. Sure, if I did it more, I'd probably get used to it. There's my shadow on the ground there. Watch the wires here. I try to get low and catch a fish here. Fish. Oh, we caught some fish, all right. Woo! I bumped the rudder. And it immediately jumps to the next plane. Oh, that was fun while it lasted. Yeah, I'm not a big P-51 flyer in DCS. I have a lot more time in the cockpit in the Huey than I do in the P-51. I got about 10 minutes in the P-51. But when you're learning how to fly the P-51, you don't go trying to catch fish on the river. That was just me trying to have a little fun. I think I'm gonna fly my my Huey now. I wanted to fly the OH-6, but it's not showing up, and I'm not able to. So there's that. But this isn't the one I want to fly. I have a mission that I made. Let's just... Yeah, let's do a cold start in the Marianas. I installed the World War II scenery in the Marianas. I don't know how it is. I guess I had downloaded it last time I was playing DCS when I was messing around with this OH-6. This OH-6 is really sensitive. It's fun though. Really fun. You got to be super sensitive on the throttle with the OH-6, but it is fun. In DCS though, I more fly rotary wing than I do fixed wing, so that's why you see me kind of babying everything with the fixed wing because I don't have very much experience in them. In DCS at least. It's fun, but it's let's see what is he gonna tell us what to do? Today we will learn how to fly.
Tutorial, I guess. Of course. It's only the 37th times today. Can't you guys just read manuals?
Let's fish part to continue. Yeah, this is a mod, by the way. It's a really nice one. We'll just turn this on.
Next, open the fuel valve. Before starting the engine, decrease the governor trim by pressing the governor switch down for 7 seconds.
And then this one,
press the space bar to continue.
where's the governor at on this one? I don't remember. Hello, governor. Let's just do F. I think you have to do F anyway. There was one of the things that didn't work on this one.
Now we are going to start the engine. I will guide you through the following steps.
I think you have to press F on
press
this one.
the starter button and bring N1 between 12 and 15%. At that
This
point,
is important
we will
right here.
move the throttle to idle and wait until
N1.
N1 stabilizes at 60% before releasing the starter button.
I think he means N.
Engage the starter when you are ready.
Press the starter button, bring N1 12 to 15%. Where is that starter at on this thing? remember. It might just be home. Yeah.
Now open the throttle to idle.
I think you have to hold it. Oh, idle. What was it to... Was it this one? No. It was this one. Say it was that one. Come on now. What is it? Throttle was open to idle. What is going on? I think you have to crack it open just like on the Huey, but the controller here is not working. I think it's like control or something. What in the hell? Let's just try. I wonder if it means military power. Center. No. I think it's the like the control button. Usually you have a twist thing where it's not a twisting though. What was that? Yeah, that's the intercom doing that. Why is it not? You know what? I'm gonna try to fly this thing the way that I remember. Where is that? There's the master on. Lights. Damn, you can't move that. Let's turn the fuel pump on. Auxiliary off. I think you need the magnetic on. I'm just going off of what I did before. I think you need the inverter on. Generator. It's probably the inverter though. Generator should have been on. What is this? Battery was on. I don't remember what button it is to crack the throttle open, but it tells you in the Huey startup. Let me see if it's F. No. Come on now. This thing might be broken. Let's go back to the. I'll go to the Huey real quick and see what it is that sets it to idle. I think it's like control or something, but I'm not gonna sit here and waste time guessing. I'll just go to cold start and have a look. This guy takes forever to get to the point, but it shouldn't take long to explain how to set it to idle. Balance control.
Welcome to the cold start lesson, Cadet. Today we will practice starting up the Huey and getting her ready for flight. Press the spacebar key when you are ready to begin. Before we begin, press right control and C to close the cockpit doors.
Right. Oh, right control. Yeah.
First, we need to provide electrical power to the aircraft. This can be done with the help of the ground crew, but we'll use onboard power. Take a look on the overhead console. On the AC power control panel, set the AC phase voltmeter selector switch to AC, and the inverter switch labeled INVTR to off.
Trying to get. What did he say it was? AC phase.
Now on the DC power control panel, set the main generator switch to on and the DC voltmeter selector switch to ESS bus, essential bus. Next, set the starter generator switch to start and turn on the battery.
Right.
Don't worry, that's just the low RPM warning blaring, which is normal right now. Press the low RPM audio switch to acknowledge the warning. Let's also test the caution lights panel to make sure all of the lights are operative. Set and hold the test switch in the down position. Make sure all of the caution lights are on. Next, on the engine control panel, set the main fuel switch to on and the governor switch to auto. All other fuel switches should be off.
I think that is.
On the miscellaneous control panel, set the hydraulic control switch to on, the force trim switch to on, and make sure the chip detector system is set to both.
It's already set to both.
Before starting the engine, we need to make sure the throttle is set to idle.
Okay.
The throttle is located on the grip of the collective control handle next to the pilot's left leg. The throttle is twisted left using the page up key to increase it,
Page up.
and right using the page down key to decrease it.
This page
Press and
up.
hold the page down key for a few seconds to make sure the throttle twist grip on the collective control handle is set to the idle stop position. Also, make sure the stick and pedals are in the neutral position and the collective is fully lowered. You can check the position of the controls on the controls indicator by pressing right control and enter.
Throttle is twisted to the left using page up to increase it and page down to decrease it. Let's go back to the OH6 now. This is really a joy to fly. I like this little helicopter. Pretty fun. I have this set up in the Vietnam configuration for like frags and stuff. Alright, let's go back to what we were doing here. Should be able to start this time.
Hi there. Startup tutorial, I guess?
Yes.
Of course. It's only first, turn on the battery.
Yes.
Next, open the fuel valve. Before starting the engine, decrease the governor trim by pressing the governor switch down for 7 seconds.
It's F1, 2.
Press the spacebar to continue. Now we are going to start the engine. I will guide you through the following steps. First, we will press the starter button and bring N1 between 12 and 15%. At that point, we will move the throttle to idle and wait until N1 stabilizes at 60% before releasing. Now open the throttle to idle.
Page down. Why is it not? Page down. I think this helicopter might be broken. We're idle. Page down's not doing anything. Let's see. Page down, page up, do something. Come on. Unless it has custom keys. Hang on a second. It might have custom keys. Let's see. Let's go to search. Throttle idle insert. Okay. For the OH6, it's insert. Insert. Ooh, better.
And keep
There
pressing
she
the starter
goes.
button and wait until N1 stabilized at about 60%.
Yes. Kind of hard to. Almost.
There you go, N1 at 60%. Release the starter button and press the space bar to proceed.
Okay.
You can now set the generator to Gen. The inverter switch to on and turn on the gyro.
Yeah. That was right.
Adjust the
Just
pressure on the altimeter and press the space bar to continue.
insert is what it was. It was holding me back.
Good. Now slowly increase the throttle to max. When the throttle is max, the governor controls N2 to 100%.
You know what? Something's going on there. So I gotta use page up to control the throttle. And I need to get on those rudders. Whoop! 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 Alright, she's alright. We're good. Yeah, she's wild. I remember about this thing. She can be really wild. Oh, easy does it. Why is she freaking out? I don't know why it does that. I'm gonna fly again. It's not that hard to fly this helicopter. It's just she's super, super sensitive. And for some reason, it's like, yeah, we're not gonna use your flight stick for the throttle. We want you to use the keyboard. But here we go.
Hi, you're the new guy? I see you've made yourself comfortable already. Good.
Yes.
Let me show you how to start her up.
I'm already starting it. He doesn't know it yet. That's a good sign. If I remember right, you have to increase the throttle till did we turn on this stuff? Yeah, so now we got to increase the throttle. We got to do it super gently. And then she's just going to jump off the deck all at once, and you got to be on that rudder ready. And you know what? I think the rudder's not responding. Let's see. That's probably why I spun out, because my rudder wasn't on. Before we take off, let's go to settings and check and make sure the rudder's on. Option, no. Assignments. Adjust controls. What is it? Access commands. Yeah, I have to reset it again. Pedals. And let's move this in here. Detected. For some reason, I always have to do that. I don't know why. Okay, we should be able to take off now. Yeah, now they're responding. Alright, here goes nothing. Let's move that page up to increase throttle. I'm watching the gauges here. There was something tricky about this that I remember. This thing can get really wild really fast, but I think the main thing was throttle has to be pretty high before you can actually use the cyclic. I think we can probably take off now. A little slow to respond on that other rudder there. Alright, let's go up. Huh. Like, it's not... Why is it doing that? Let's just use page up, I guess. Be careful not to bump the tail here. You just gotta get it going, and then once you're up, it seems to be alright. He's freaking out again. Hang on a second. Come on, don't freak out. Why is it doing that? Decrease the throttle here. Yeah, she's done. I don't remember it having these issues. I don't know why. It's like it's not liking the commands or something. Shouldn't be spinning out like that. Yeah, I was doing really good with this. I was spot landing and everything.
You're the new guy? I see you've made yourself comfortable already. Good. Let me show you how to start her up.
How about no? 7. Insert title. Start the engine. Should be. I think we're getting a fail start. I heard it. Hang on a second. Oh, hey, Story. Just trying to remember how to fly this damn thing. I think I cooked the start on that one. Go back down. You're fixing to watch me crash, I think. I'm having some issues with this thing. we should be nice to start it up here. Continue to increase throttle. You have to have like the right mixture of throttle and cyclic. Now we're up and we're off. He's being really fickle. I think we're gonna get it here. It's already starting to spin out again. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, it's spinning out again. Why is it doing that? I'm gonna set it back down here for a second. I don't know why it does this thing. Alright, chill out, chill out. Easy go. I don't know, maybe the engine's still trying to start. Let's see. I'm easing back now. Throttle up. Yeah, you can't go that fast. Let's try to... Now let's see if we can take off. Should be as easy. Yeah, it's not. I don't know why it's wanting to spin out on me. Like my rudder pedals aren't being sensed or something. Come on, damn it. Let's get going. I'm trying to use the momentum of the helicopter to fly, but yeah, it doesn't like my rudders. This is not that hard to fly. I don't know why it's being itched like that. Yeah, we're fine. I don't know. It's just being weird about my rudders for some reason. It's usually not that hard. It was like the throttle was still increasing in RPM or something. Oh, we're losing our engine. That, I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. Never did do that before. He must have changed something with the flight model. Well, damn it. I'll get in my Huey then. I'm just gonna go to... I don't want to do the flight lesson right now. I'll just go to instant action. Yeah, so we got these new maps. This is the Marianas World War II. Let's go check that out. Cold start, takeoff practice. I guess there is no combat mission for the Marianas. You gotta make your own. Yeah, you can hear it revving. I don't know what's going on. Why is it... I chose a helicopter. Why is it... Okay, whatever. I don't care.
This mission starts with your aircraft on the runway, ready for takeoff. You may fly the planned route or just explore the area. There are no threats.
Okay, that's all set. This is set. This needs to be cracked open. Oh, this is already on. Oh, shit. What? Okay, well, let's go. It was so quiet, I thought it wasn't even on. Hopefully they set the trim, otherwise we're gonna flip out. They didn't set the trim. Ah, no! They didn't set the trim for you. They turned everything on, but they don't set the trim. That's funny. Okay. On this P-51, you have to set the trim over
This mission
here.
starts with your aircraft on the runway, ready for takeoff. You may fly the planned route.
Ready
or
for
just explore
takeoff,
the
he
area.
says.
There are no threats.
Yeah, you have to set that to 5 degrees, otherwise the torque will get you on takeoff. I've survived it once, but it's pretty hard to do. Oh shit. Yeah, that torque is really kicking my ass. Like a glove. Okay. Let's try that again. That's funny. Let's not do that. Ah! Boy, howdy, DCS. What are you doing to me? Try that again. That's fine. Alright. Right around here. I'm getting it. Yeah, it's already torquing bad. I'm gonna say let's check. That's set. That's set. Man, that rudder, I think it's my rudder pedals doing that. Just keep going. Oh my god, dude. I think my rudder pedals are jacking up or something. 'Cause it's doing that with my helicopter, and now it's doing it with the P-51. I didn't even select the P-51, but whatever. I'm gonna check the settings and make sure that the slider's on. I think I didn't do that for this P-51 when I first started. It could just be that my rudder pedals aren't being sensed properly. It says it's set the slider, but let's try it again. Okay.
This mission starts with your aircraft on the runway, ready for takeoff. You may fly the planned route or just explore the area. There are no threats.
Yes, I'm aware. Yeah. No. Alright, so trim is set. So why the hell is it doing that? Let's see if we can just steer this thing. It's detecting the pedals. It's just they're not. It's like they need to be calibrated or something again. Oh, come on! Oh, come on, dude. Try again. Man, this is annoying. Yeah, I've flown this in so many other
This mission
games. I
starts with your
know that
aircraft
I've...
on the runway, ready for takeoff. You may fly the planned route or just explore the area. There are no
It's like...
threats.
I know that what I'm doing is right because I've taken off with this already in this game today multiple times. It's just... for some reason... the torque's giving me hell. There we go. Nope. Yeah, there we go. Shouldn't have to have that much power to take off though. There must be something going on with that. Because earlier I was just taking off to about like right there on the throttle. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. Maybe for this mission and the weather, I was supposed to have more trim than that because it was pulling really hard. Or maybe something with the wind. Anyway, I'm up. I don't know if I just didn't advance my throttle forward enough, or I did it too quickly, or something. Something was happening where it was getting way more torque than what I was trimming for. But somehow this is supposed to be World War II scenery, but it just looks like Mariana to me. Nice coastline. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't smooth enough on the throttle or something when I was taking off. But the way that it was pulling, it seemed like I needed to trim more than 5. Probably about 8. Let's see. Level out and see what it's doing. Take my feet off the rudder pedals and see what it does. Well, there is some rudder needs to go back the other way. Elevator trim. Need to trim my aileron a little bit too. Getting it turned out. Pretty close. There we go. Weather conditions must be a little different up here. Probably need to get those landing gear up too. Damn. Yeah, it's been a while, man. This thing's engine doesn't do too well when you invert, but I'll do some rolls. I'm not even touching the rudders. My feet are off the rudders. There's something fickle about the rudders. I'll probably have to recalibrate them. Probably why it seemed like it was pulling. It's probably the rudder dead zone being off or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's where I took off from or not. No, I don't think so. I came across over here. Don't really need much rudder. I don't really see much here. You know what I did again? Took off without closing the canopy. Let this slow down a little bit, close it. Oh, it is close. Huh. The engine was a little bit loud. I was wondering why the... Gotta see if I can figure out where it took off from. It was back this way. I don't have the version of this thing that has guns. Like 50 bucks or something. It was 25. I almost bought it, but I was like, oh, I don't need that. I kind of wish I had. Really not too terrible scenery. Pretty realistic looking villages there. I think I took off from over here somewhere at this island. I think I see the airport. I think that's where we took off from. I thought it was a dirt strip though. Maybe that is the dirt strip. Yeah, there's some other weather going on over here. It's starting to pool all over the place. I don't know if that's where we took off from or not. Maybe? Probably not. That is an airfield though, there's hangars there. There were ships where we took off. I think those are the ships there. That's probably a dirt strip. Yeah, I think I'm gonna land it and I'm gonna try to take off again and see. Get my feet on the pedals again. Keep it at about 150. Try to give it some flaps here. Put this gear down. A little bit of speed. This might be the landing speed 120. I thought it was 170, but I think it's the F-16 that lands at 170. 160. No sign of stall yet, so that's good. think we're gonna overshoot. Yeah, looks like we're gonna overshoot. Tapping the wheel brakes. I think we're good. There we go. Alright. Where the hell is my canopy at? I guess it... That's weird. You can't even hardly tell there's glass there. I guess it's still on. I thought I jettisoned it or something at first. Yeah, it's still on. I'll be damned. Alright, cool. Let me check this. Thanks. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've really got to actually fly anything. Just that helicopter that I have, but periodically flying it. I'm gonna turn around. If I got enough room, I'll try to take back off even. DCS is free, by the way, so is this plane. So if you wanted to try, you could. It's just a little weird because these are new rudder pedals. I've never had rudder pedals before, so I'm still getting used to turning with the rudder pedals and the toe brakes. Because for years I've flown with a joystick that had the rudder built into it. And toe brakes were just like the period button and comma. So it's a lot more of an experience when you actually have to do it with your feet. I want to say we're trimmed out, but I'm going to reset my trim wheel because I am trimmed for nose-up flight. When I'm hitting the brake, it's wanting to go the other way. Should be aimed down. Runway now. I'll show you the outside. This one doesn't have the nose art. The other one I was flying did. This, I think it's because of the mission. So we aren't quite aimed down runway yet. That ought to be pretty good, I think. Alright, let's toe brake. Back to the cockpit. Close this up before we take off. Did it lock? What is it doing? There we go. I think it's closed and locked. Alright, let's try this again. Let me make sure that this is set to compensate that. 6 or 7. I think this needs to probably be back over this way because I was trimmed for to go to the left. And this one here, can't tell if that's centered or not. I think it is. All right, let's try this again. Torquing. Woo, that was close. Almost hit that tank. Yeah, it's torquing hard. Look how it's twisting the whole tail end of the plane. Damn, that's a lot of torque. Let's see if I can let go of the stick and see what it does. Left aileron. Ought to be good. I need some nose up trim. Wonder what model of the D this is for it to have that much torque like that. I know that the P51 does have torque, but that's a lot of torque. That's the other model that I was flying on the runway wasn't doing that. I think it might just be a different model for this one. Raise those flaps. The clouds in this game are really nice. I'm going to try to climb up there without overheating. Just depends on what like CPU you have. GPU, I should say. This game is quite graphic intensive. Yeah, there's not a lot out here. I think this whole map is just those two islands. All the water. Try to get up in the clouds. Looks like we're about at 6,000. Nearly. That ceiling's probably 10. Everything's within range. Yeah, and little Cessnas and stuff, that's pretty scary, but I can't imagine these World War II planes, if you've never flown one, the amount of torque that they had. They call it P factor when you take off like that. The F4U Corsair, it was known as a Widowmaker because it had an extreme amount of torque because of the three-bladed prop that they had used. A lot of the Corsair pilots ended up dying when they were trying to take off. Their Corsair would rock over because of the torque of the engine, and they would end up in the water. Of course, back then we didn't have ejection seats, so but later on, they added a 4-prop design to the F4U Corsair, and that corrected a lot of the torque issues with the Corsair. Still a badass plane though. The flaps on that thing are absolutely massive. If you ever see one in real life, they're a lot bigger in real life than they look when you see them in like movies and videos and stuff. When you actually up next to one, you stand next to it, it's huge. Can't really see my altimeter here. We're approaching 11,000. I was close. I said 10, so about 11.5. We're up in the clouds now. Don't remember how to turn those. What do you call this? The displays off. When you get up in the clouds like this, pilots have to be rated for IFR flight because you're flying with all instruments. So if you're in a cloud, you can't tell if you're going up or down. If there's a lot of fog, a lot of inexperienced pilots, they end up dead because of that. That's anytime you enter a cloud or a lot of fog, you have to really watch the six-pack and make sure your heading is correct, make sure your wings aren't wobbling to and fro. And what's interesting about this indicator here, I need to trim out for up here because I'm wobbling all over the place, but what's interesting about this is it's inverted for some reason. See, when I go this way, you would think it would be the other way. There's probably a way to set that, but let me trim out because I'm getting a lot full here. Man, come on now. Come out. Why are you still pulling that way? Still pulling that. Kind of a tough trim. Alright, let's down a little bit. Man, that thing is... There we go. That'll be good. Let me see if I can get rid of all that torque. No, it definitely needs at least 5 degrees. That ought to be good. There's a coastline over there. I just thumped the rudder. I moved forward in my seat and it moved my rudder pedal forward. Uh-oh. What's going on? High blower on, push to test. I think that's the supercharger. It'll let me press the button. Nah, it's not gonna do that. We are getting a little bit red line for the RPM. And then take that back just a little bit. There. still kind of pulling that way. There we go. Hands free. Yeah, there's nowhere else to go but those airstrips down there, because it's the rest of this map I think is just all water. I'm not even gonna hit M because I don't remember how to close the map. It's like or something. All right, might as well play around a little bit. Ooh, shit. Ooh. Did not like that. You can roll all day, but the second you go to pull up, it goes like that. Reduce throttle here. Start descending. I think I'm going to land at that little dirt airstrip over there. A little sluggish, which is surprising, but I think this is an older model. I want to say this is a B, but I don't think so. Might just be painted like a B. I remember, I think the B had a radio stack behind the cockpit. It was higher. Probably not a B model. C was a passenger. This is got a second seat. Could be a C model. Uh-oh. Must be having some kind of hydraulic failure. The gear are in transition for some reason. Toggle that landing gear and see what well, that was interesting. Must have been all that going inverted. Come on, gear, come up. Okay, so there's a problem. Hydraulics are doing some funny shit. Let me see what's going on. I don't know what's causing that. That's the gear or not locked. That's a gear in transition button. Something's going on. My throttle is completely zero right now. I'm just trying to still descend in altitude. 4,000. I think I can land there pretty easy. I'm gonna come in from the coast. No idea why it's doing that. I try to toggle the landing area. Gear down and lock. Gear coming up. Light's still on. I didn't do anything to cause that I know of. Oh, that's alright, we're gonna be landing. I'm gonna try to go out a little further and give myself some distance here this time. Unsafe landing gear light. Don't know what's causing that. Just like that, it went out. Okay. That's weird. Alright, let's get on that rudder. To stall. I think the landing speed for this is about 120. Let's get these flaps down, gear down. Oh, we're going too fast. I think I can probably still land this. Or we're gonna overshoot. Yeah, we're gonna go around. Bump the throttle there. And before I go around. Because the flaps are down, I'm getting a lot more torque. Ready to go inside. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in, Sorry. I just felt like getting on DCS and flying. I didn't think anybody would actually tune in. Figured everybody would probably either watch it after or not at all. I've just been focused on making videos for Heater Ice lately, so That game's coming along. If you want to check it out, you can on Steam. If you're interested, let me know in the comments or something, and I can add you on Steam, and then I'll send you an invite to the beta test. He's fixing to close the test, so probably just be me and a couple other people testing till the demo comes out. If that's even your cup of tea, that may not be your thing. So. Yeah, I haven't been playing very much of games, really, just doing the playtesting for Eateright lately because my friend, he was in Vegas. He flew over from the UK into Vegas, and the last time we played was probably, man, it's been almost a month, I think. He's been here in the US. But thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Let's try this again. I think I'm going to land with one notch of flaps here down. Still coming in hot. Thank you. Oh. We bumped. Come on. Set her down. Oh man, this is not gonna be good. Oh no. At least no fire. Oh well. Yeah. I need some practice flying this thing. And our poor little prop. That's alright. Well. Oh well. Ah, promoted to first lieutenant. How's that? I didn't even know we had a rank. Close that. I'm gonna give this OH6 another shot. Let's just go to. This is instant action, right? Precision smoke grenades. I don't even remember how to drop those. Take off runway at night? No. Just gonna do take off from runway. I'm gonna try to see if I can conquer this spinning issue. Figure out what the hell's going on with that. What? No. That's a Huey. I selected an OH6, didn't I? Instant action. OH6. Just do ready on ramp. I had a mission built for this helicopter. I don't know what the hell it's doing. It's probably not going to put me in it. We'll see. Blue Coalition? Tactical Commander? No idea what's going on here. No idea what I'm going to be flying. What? What in tarnation? I don't know what's going on. I think it's broken. Now I'm captain. Okay. Let me... I don't think this is set up anymore. I didn't create this one, but I know this one will launch us with the OH6, and I'll see what's going on from there. Okay, here we go. Alright, battery on. Pull to close. On the governor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Idle cutoff. Start. Throttle. Started. Inverter on, generator on, magnet on. Fuel pumps on. Now, figure out what her problem is. What's your problem, lady? I'm gonna watch that and see what happens for a second. All I can think of is maybe I was taken off too soon. I'm gonna watch that needle and let it climb. Looks like it's stabilized. Let's try to take off. I can hear something going on as I'm going up with the electric. What in the hell? Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Go out. Go out. Go out. Come on now. You gotta be doing all that. Why you gotta be so dramatic? Alright, let's try to get some lift here. There we go. There she is. Alright. We're off. This thing can be a drama queen sometimes, I guess. Alright. Like a Arthur Morgan talking to his freaking horse. Yeah, that's what I remember. Now we're cooking. Not even touching the rudder. Letting the feed do the... Start messing with the rudder. Yeah, this is what I remember. I don't know why it was freaking out like that. He must have changed something with the flight model where it's more sensitive. The engine needs more time to spool up or something. But yeah, now I can fly this thing. I was able to land this thing. And that's another thing with this one. You gotta be careful with this thing trying to land it. It'll flip easy on you. But I was able to easily skid land and stuff. Like touch the surface of wherever I was gonna land and then leave. Like this school bus, I already landed on the school bus once. To match the speed and land. Stop. Well, yeah, you can see that I'm able to definitely do it. It's been a while. On this one, there's a guy in the back of that truck, and I'll try to get up behind him. He's got a camera. The OH6 is a really kick-ass mod for DCS. Even the school bus is open, see it? The camera. He stopped. We didn't actually fly past him. Yeah, you can see this thing is really not... Like, it can be wild, but it's also super controllable if you're just careful with the controls. Hell yeah, brother. Where you going, man? Where you going? You just gonna phase through the gate now? What are you doing? I'll see if I can put it up on the school bus. Probably not. It takes a little bit of practice to do that because This thing stops a lot. You gotta be real careful with how you do it. Lost it. There's the nerve. He's fixing to turn. If I try to drop, it'll probably crash. But yeah, I can do it. It's been a long time. I don't really want to risk crashing right now. Having fun flying. Let's see what that thing is. What the hell are you? I'm gonna land on you. I mean, that's one way to do it, I guess. Yeah, it can be really fickle if you... So, if I were to sit down right now, when I try to take off, it's gonna... The torque is gonna try to flip it over. These things are like that in real life, too. They'll easily flip over on you. What is that thing? Oh, there's somebody in there. Look at that. What are you doing? Oh, let's get out of here. Like I said, I fly rotary wing and DCS a lot better than I do fixed wing. I'm sure I could fly the fixed wing too after some time. You have to know the landing speeds on those things in order to, especially with the tail draggers. Tail draggers will always nose down on you if you hit the brakes too hard, anything like that, while they're coming in if you're not going the right landing speed. They've got a semi around here somewhere. I've landed on it before. It broke my skid last time, but I think that was on the There it is. There's the semi. Alright, let's see if I got my shit together if we can land on the semi. You gotta be careful about that. She likes to drop out of the air real fast. Even with a slow, steady descent, you can see how quickly you can start gaining speed in kind of our descent. Like, mad props to the helicopter pilots. You guys have massive balls. These freaking things are insane. I can't imagine that kind of torque in real life. Fighting with that. Literally fighting for your life. This is where I struggle with on this one. It's so tiny, it's so hard to land on. You have to be perfectly lined up. And the helicopter's trying to constantly twist with it. Well, we touched down and then we flew off. I think we're like right there and then we're not. Basically like a June bug right now. To get it under more control. Super tiny sensitive movement. wants to drop and then she goes backwards. With the track IR, it's kind of hard to tell which direction I'm going. Ah. Yeah, this one's the more difficult, one of the more difficult landing spots on this. Break my skid off if I'm not careful. Just gonna try to pop it down. Yeah. You gotta have a lot of patience with these, but the more you practice, the better off you get. Just see how the torque's spinning me. I think it's because I'm in ground effect. My own rudder wash is just pushing me all over the place. Try to land on this tug instead. Moving's easier because all you have to do is match the speed and touch down. Whereas landing on a very teeny tiny little target while you have to constantly fight with the controls of a helicopter is more difficult. Oh, what are you doing? What's jacking me up is the descent. I gotta easy on the controls on descent. I think we're gonna land it. I think we're gonna make it. Oh, run, fall off. You gotta be really careful with it. We're on. But she still slides off even when you're not moving. Now I'm using the rudders. You hear how the engine's winding up a lot now? When we're landed? It doesn't like it. Get out of here. Lift. Well. That's me just moving around on the chair. That's all. Alright. There's another spot that I want to try. Up here on one of these towers, got like a little. Look. There's that, but that's a lot bigger. Yeah, I think it's over here. The truck. I want to say it's back down here. Just me moving around. There it is. Yeah, this one's harder because the metal things. Helicopter's freaking out a little bit. Settle down. Settle down. Settle down. Settle down for a second. Like the rudders. Super sensitive. Alright, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna land on that. going up. There's so much more torque when you're holding still. Jeez. Can you chill out for just a second? Jeez. Wow. Oh, she's trying to freak out on me. Yeah. Got a baby her. Let her down. Yeah, you can't touch the rudder on this when you're doing this. You have to be super careful on the rudder. Don't like the idea of going up there. Let's take our feet off the rudder. Again. Kind of weird that she wants to descend sometimes, and sometimes she's wanting to turn a different direction, which I don't even have the rudder on. Come on now. What are you doing? Go out. Go out. Go out. Go out, dude. Settle down, settle down. We're in the money. Oh, we're so close. That's it, we're in. Hear the engine RPM's going up like crazy. Oh, we're landed on the rail. If I let off on the throttle, watch it freak out. Throttling down, see what happens. I just wondered if it would drop off the rail if I did. Yeah, she's fine. Let's see. Oh, we're flying the Hawaii 5-0 colors. Cool. We look a little bit caught up though, don't we? No? No. Yeah, I love flying this thing. It's super sensitive though. Damn. Very cool though. Very cool to fly. They have a 160th SOAR version. Oh shit. Trying to get lift without throttle. Throttle back up and get out of here. Oh, come on, chill out, chill out. Chill out, chill out, chill out. Alright. Drops like a wad of paper. What I mean? Hard to get that angle right. Yeah, she's done. That happens. That's alright. I'm kind of tired of flying it. Alright. Oh, that was fun though. Let me see if I can show you the 160th variant. I think you have to start a mission in order to do that. These are both pretty much the same thing, it's just a different version. I have to go to like mission creator and load it in. That's alright, I don't feel like messing with all that. Fly the Herc and see if we can does instant action. These islands are too tiny. What happened to the... Let's see if this will work. It's been a long time since I've flown this thing. I don't remember everything about it, but probably won't even be able to start it. We'll see. Okay. Just looking at where we're at. Okay, battery on. Should be somewhere up here. Battery test. Battery on. Don't know if we need these on or not. Turn them on. I think we do. CPU. Come down here. Batteries on APU. And then there was some setting down here. You gotta build air here. Okay. Let's open. Close. What was it? Breaking my neck to look here. Hang on a second. Auxiliary. There's the APU. Wait. Oh, that's the fire handle now. You go to run. We're not getting bleed air. What am I missing here? No, it's not that. Set it to APU. Battery on. I don't remember if these generators are supposed to be on or not. I don't even hear the starters. Supposed to build bleed air pressure, but I don't see. What is it? Those are the fire handles, so it should be firing. Usually this light's supposed to turn on. Maybe I need to turn the generator off. Nothing. that's not that. Something to do it over here. Oh, that's right. You got to turn this on. You have to hold it to start, and then it builds. But instead, the plane just glitched out on me. I think we have enough power now. Switch it back to APU. Did I just cook our battery? I think I did. Let's restart it. Okay, so I think it's not that. That's the one I meant to hit. This one, APU, start. There she is. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Let that build up. And once this builds up to 100, now we can go ahead and start our right engine. And she's spooling, even though the light's not coming on. Where's the bleed air pressure? Why is it not? Why do we not have any bleed air pressure for this funnel? Okay, I think these have to be on now. Come on, man. What is going on? Usually you have bleed air pressure up here. And then once that air pressure builds, it's not doing shit. Now, that should have actually worked. I don't know why it's not. I think I know what I did wrong. I keep cooking our battery, dude. It's been so long since I started this. I told you I didn't think I could remember how to start it, but we'll see. Try one more time. If I can't start it, then I'll go back to maybe the Huey. I might play some Elite Dangerous since I have the joystick out now. Okay, so I think what I was doing wrong was I didn't hit the APU up here. Let's see. You're supposed to hit this, I think, in order to get the bleed air. So, try again. The thing is with this one, I have a problem with getting this to go into low speed ground idle. I had it working when I first learned how to do it, and then now it's kind of being a pain in the ass. APU, there's our bleed air pressure, and we should be able to start the engine now. Okay. Here we go. Number 4. Good to go. Okay. Number 2, 3. This thing is a joy to fly. Everything on it is pretty much automated. You could easily turn things up. This has a lot of buttons when it comes to closing doors and stuff. Two. Make sure we're idle. Throttle's idle. Number 1. Shift D to close the main. I know it closes one of those doors. Control Shift D. No. What if a Shift D? It's Alt D. Alt D closes that door. Alt Shift D. Control E to close. Control C. I think you can close this from inside. I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. Let's go to the need to get to that. I'm trying to reset our view. Supposedly this has like a variant with guns. I never could get it to work. Where is forward lighting? I can't get to that screen. I need to get back there and I don't remember what button it is. I think we can probably do that from up here somewhere. Ramp door full, but do we have to build up pressure in order to open that door back there. Draw it. Auxiliary. That's anti-skid. That's the engine pumps, suction pumps. Yeah, auxiliary. Yeah, the pressure's low. Let's not do that. There it is. This has to be on before you can close this. Back there. I don't think any of this is modeled. It is computer. There's the chute release. There's the ramp door. That should not. There we go, you have to hold it down. And that should be closing, let's check. That's closed. Now I don't remember what it is for this door over here. I'm gonna check the controls because I really don't remember what the door is. It's like cargo hold. Paratroops, no. Battle station, no. I think it's like probably under like general or something. Let's just look it up. The door. Crew entrance door. Left control D. I was close. Alright. It's so weird flying this and looking at it inside DCS because I built one. I actually did a video on it in Tower Unite. I think we're good to go here. Let's go ahead and try to taxi this thing. Okay, so we're back in the cockpit. Adjust my headset. Oh, flaps. On this thing, it's ridiculous with the flaps. But, I don't know if that's... That extend our flaps all the way down? I think it did. Yeah, you want full flaps on this thing, and it'll continue to bitch at you. What is our parking brake on this? I don't remember. Is it? Yeah, but I don't know if that actually disengaged. Give it a little throttle. Yeah. The parking brake's disengaged. Give it a little bit of rudder here. Brakes. This does not turn anything like anything. Alright, let's try to do a little circle here on the runway. Okay, that's what's going on. The rudder's not working. Every time. I don't know why. Why does it do that? Axis, pitch, rudder, change it to slider. Detected. We're good to go. That's why it wasn't turning. Like, why the hell am I not turning? It should. Yeah, it does. It turns with rudder and differential braking. Yeah, we should be fine. Taxi down to the end of the runway. Easy on the rudder there. I know it looks like it's like, wow, man, you're all over that rudder. It's because I'm not used to flying with a rudder. I've only had these rudder pedals for a couple months, but I've only used them like 3 times for like 10 minutes at a time, so I don't have very much experience flying with rudders. We're getting lined out here. Start here. Let off the throttle. Go the other way. Yeah. Okay, engines are idle. Let's see if we can get this thing to take off. They won't go back into ground idle. You can't turn them on. And my throttle's all the way back now. It shouldn't actually be there. It should be it here. But, all right, we're just gonna hold down our toe brakes. Give it some full power and just go. Man. Yeah, it's that rudder's just, I need to trim this thing out or something. Alright, let's try to get off the ground without wrecking here. I'm really not used to these rudders, and I always feel like I'm turning the right way, and sometimes I'm not. There's also a lot of torque there. I think we're fast enough to get off the ground. Flaps will say that for a minute. I'm not worried about that. You know, low flaps. I don't remember how to close these. It might just be click. It doesn't work. Usually you could close these. Maybe an update broke them. Alright. So we're not gonna fly with full flaps, but I'm gonna wait until I get a little bit more altitude before I move these flaps. And also these are really cool. You can bring these down. These are modeled. That comes on. Bring down the pilot's head. And so there's a little bit I know about this. So if I had set a waypoint in the mission creator, I could come down here and go to the navigation screen. You could click here. You click, I think it's on NavTune, ComTune or something like that. Not ComTune, it's like NavTune. Alright, let me do it. You gotta watch out when you're looking at those screens like that. Your nose will go down in this thing pretty quick. I don't have the trim button set, but this thing is really easy to fly because you have this thing right here allows you to set your stuff. I can't remember how to do it. You got autopilot, and then you set the autopilot. You have to turn it on over here. Pilot. AFCS. It's a good thing these little windows are here so you can see what you're doing when you're down here. It's been so long since I've flown this, I'm just gonna fly around in it for a minute. I'm not gonna worry too much about autopilot at the moment. But if I click, yeah, autopilot has to actually be turned on over here, and I don't remember where that switch is. Air deflector. Lamp doors. I think it's this one. Could be wrong. A switch over here that I have to turn on. I want to say it's that one. Yeah, autopilot's on now. We just have to set everything up. This one I think is our speed currently. I used to know what all this shit on here meant. Watch some videos on C-130. Very cool. This thing lands a lot like the realistic one, the real one. Okay. Heading. This heading is 220, but that's not. This is our actual heading through heading tape, and then this is our altitude here. I think this is our speed. 159. How many G's we're pulling? I can't remember what G means. And there's a little tiny, they call it the carrot. You can line this carrot up so that it'll actually show where you're going to land. It lines up to the airbase based on altitude and all that stuff. Let's try to see if I can turn some of this shit on. The autopilot's on. If we set... You have to set up here. Where is it? AP... Latitude... Oh, here it is. Over here. So we just get what the altitude we want to get to, right? And we just click this button, which would normally highlight. Why isn't it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's trying to pull me down because the altitude obviously is set for something different than what I have. There it is. I must have had nose up on it. And so you can also set your... You can select the altitude. I can't remember how to do that. Vertical speed. You can change it to whatever you want to change it to. So vertical speed. And over here, so you can turn this down. You can turn it up for how fast you want to go. You don't want to go more than about 220 in this thing. These caps, I can't remember. Auto throttle. You can set it to approach. You can set it to hold heading. So like we're in a turn right now. If I turn this like this, I'm going to turn. If I don't want to turn anymore, I can say heading. It'll just lock right on. It's super easy to fly, man. It's like breezy. Breezy. I don't remember how to bring up the map and close it. I want to say it's like F10 or something, but it's been a while, so I just... Let's see if I can... Let's get those gear up. I think we can also reduce flaps now. I would fly with probably a notch of flaps. It'll save that for a minute, and the landing gear up. Why is it done? Landing gear up. Hang on a sec. She shut up. Alright, let's bring this up now. It only say landing gear when they're in transition. Why is it doing that? There we go. Yeah, so you gotta fly this with like half flaps. It has something to do with the flaps there. I don't know why, but these damn things, usually you can close them. I don't know why they won't close. Okay, so let's look around here and see if I can find a airfield in the distance, and I'll set her down. Well, there's one behind me. Let's go there. So in order to disengage all this shit, you just what is it? Right click it, and everything's off. I'm basically in control now of everything. She sounds real sweet, nice and smooth. I'll quickly show you the crew positions. So here's 2, the autopilot. Autopilot works. We're in the rear. 5. I do know we're going down, but I can still control the aircraft from back here, so it's not a big deal at all. Those are the guns. I think that's pretty much it. There's a position back there. I was trying to get to it from where I was at. I'm not seeing how to do it back here. Oh, what's going on? I should have done all this whenever the autopilot was on. I was going to show you guys how it looks cool whenever you open the ramp. I guess I could do that from up here. Not a big deal. Let's do it. Where's that clicker? Where was it? I was just looking at it a minute ago. There it is. You can set that forward, open the ramp. And you'll know when that ramp opens, you can hear it. That's your overspeed warning. I think it was your overspeed warning. Pretty sure it is. And if we look back there, go on to crew position. Number 3, you can see that the ramp is now open. Okay, so it's number 5? Oh, number 4. Okay, and we can still control the plane from back here. We're still able to actually fly it nice and level and straight. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna switch back to the pilot seat now and find that runway. Looks like there's an airstrip right there. Let's see, where the hell is it? We were just looking at it. It was behind us at first. I turned around for a split second and now it's gone. Well, when we find the runway again, I'll land. The airfields, they disappear pretty quick in this game. You gotta just at one second ago, and then I don't see where it's at. I don't know. We'll find it. I remember it's like somewhere over here. Yeah, there it is. I see it. Well, at this point, we're going to cut our Wide soap a little short here. Yeah, this thing's a joy to fly. I flew it like back and forth to a couple different airports. Learned how to do the cargo, all that stuff. It was fun. Let's give ourselves some more room here. I'm so keen on twisting the joystick because of I had that joystick with the rudder built in for so long. It's gonna take forever to break that habit now. We're pretty high, so we're gonna come down. Probably do a descent from about 2,000 feet onto the runway. I think this lands at like 130 or 130 stall speed. Yeah, super fun to fly with this thing. Very cool. And this is free. This is a mod somebody made. So let's go ahead and spin this puppy around. Just gonna haul our bank angle. I'm gonna fly some rudder here. A whole lot of rudder. There's the field, I see it. Thing is so breezy to land too. It's gorgeous. It's just like a big teddy bear with wings. Okay, we're at 2,000. Gotta hold it around there. We're lined up. Go ahead and reduce our speed. If it'll reduce, and make sure that that switches off.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
I know.
Autopilot.
Turn it off.
Autopilot.
It'll be fine.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
You're coming down.
Autopilot.
Not the greatest approach in the world, but
Autopilot. Autopilot. Autopilot.
turn it off because I'm trying to get my get control of my speed.
Autopilot. 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 Autopilot.
We need to get that door closed too.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Autopilot.
You can probably land with that open, but
Autopilot. 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 Autopilot.
we're gonna drift over.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Autopilot.
There we go.
Autopilot. 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 Autopilot.
All right,
Autopilot.
we need reverse
Autopilot.
thrust.
Autopilot.
He's not gonna stop.
Autopilot. 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 Autopilot.
Will you
Autopilot.
shut the hell up?
Autopilot. Autopilot.
It was off originally anyway.
Autopilot.
Shut up.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
No, you.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
I was saying autopilot on. I didn't want to turn it on. Whatever. Let's see if that door actually closed. Looks like it did. Just barely got that up in time. Yeah, for somebody that doesn't fly very much, I didn't do too bad. This thing's super easy to fly. It's just when you're trying to come into a runway that you can barely see, and then you see it, and then trying to get everything closed off, all that other stuff. And the engines, I think it's like they're not really reducing. I don't know. You can probably turn these off. AP is off. What I do is let this zero out and then turn the battery off. Which is really probably not how this thing actually ever started, realistically. They can't model everything, of course, but battery off. Just like that. Alright guys, I think on that note, I'm done with streaming on DCS. I may play some Elite Dangerous. I've been wanting to do a little bit of fighting on there. I don't know. Got the joystick out, so I may as well. Before I do that, though, I'm probably going to eat. So I'll see you guys here in a minute. Probably end stream. Open our little crew door there. And I think that's going to be it. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and thanks for those of you guys who have tuned in. Story, I appreciate you dropping in and saying hi. It's been a while since I've been live and had anybody come in and really stay long. So on that note, I think I'll catch you guys, if I'm going to do it, I'll catch you on Elite here in a few minutes, because I'm going to go eat my food. I got some Whataburger in there, so. Alrighty. Till next time.